Juan David Ortiz was a man who, on the surface, embodied success and honor. As a 10-year veteran of the U.S. Border Patrol and a former Navy medical corpsman, Ortiz was highly respected in his Laredo, Texas community. He held a master's degree and was even being groomed for promotion. But behind his calm demeanor and polished career lay a dark and twisted secret that would horrify the nation and devastate families across the border region. In September 2018, Laredo was on edge. A string of women marginalized, often overlooked victims were being murdered. Their bodies were found dumped in remote rural areas around Webb County, Texas. Most of them were sex workers known to frequent certain truck stops or local motels. Though each murder occurred separately, they followed a chillingly similar pattern. Each victim had been shot in the head and left in desolate, brush-filled terrain. Authorities were slow to connect the crimes until one woman managed to escape. That woman, Erica Peña, would become the key to unraveling the twisted spree. Peña, herself a sex worker, had gotten into a truck with Ortiz on the night of September 14th. At first, it seemed like a typical transaction. But once they started talking, Ortiz began acting strangely. He spoke to her about the previous killings, referring to other women in dehumanizing, detached terms. When Peña realized he was armed and growing more erratic, her instincts took over. At a gas station, she bolted from the truck and ran. Ortiz attempted to chase her down but failed. She flagged down a state trooper and told him everything. Police worked quickly to identify Ortiz as the suspect and issued a bulletin. Shock spread rapidly when the name Juan David Ortiz came through. Colleagues were stunned. A senior intelligence supervisor in the Border Patrol, Ortiz had access to crime scene information and investigative tactics. For hours, he went on the run, hiding out in a hotel parking garage. He was finally arrested early in the morning on September 15, 2018, after a tense manhunt. When police confronted him, Ortiz reportedly made a full confession. In chilling detail, Ortiz admitted to killing 4 women over the span of less than 2 weeks. The victims were Melissa Ramirez, Claudine Aneluera, Giselda Alicia Hernandez Cantu, and Janelle Ortiz, no relation. He also reportedly intended to kill Erica Peña, but she managed to escape just in time. He referred to his actions as a form of cleaning up the streets, expressing hatred for sex workers and claiming a warped sense of moral justification. His confession stunned investigators not only because of the calculated cruelty, but also due to the complete lack of remorse he displayed. The trial was long awaited and emotionally charged. Prosecutors presented surveillance footage, forensic evidence, and Ortiz's own chilling confession. Defense attorneys tried to argue that Ortiz suffered from mental illness and had been under severe emotional distress, citing marital issues, trauma from his military background, and PTSD. But the jury was not swayed. The brutality of the crimes, the methodical planning, and Ortiz's explicit desire to continue killing outweighed any mitigating factors. In January 2023, Juan David Ortiz was found guilty of capital murder. The jury deliberated for only a few hours before returning with a verdict. Ortiz was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge called him a predator who used his badge and position to target the vulnerable, and whose crimes were a betrayal, not only of the victims, but of the entire community he was sworn to protect. For the families of the women he killed, the sentencing brought a small measure of justice, though no true closure. Ortiz's case remains one of the most disturbing instances of a law enforcement officer turning into a serial killer. His badge, a shield for unspeakable crimes. The story of Juan David Ortiz stands as a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the most respectable surfaces, and the importance of listening to survivors before it's too late.